What is up, everybody? Welcome back to the vlog. I'm sitting here ready to edit this vlog, and I realized the intro did not come out, so now I'm filming the intro. Basically, a couple days ago, I took Cass on a hometown date, kind of like a bachelorette type date. We're big fans of the show, so I was like, hey, let's do a hometown date. Cass has been here. This is probably like her third or fourth time here in Redmond, Oregon, where I grew up, but we hadn't really gone on like a hometown date, really showing her all the spots yet. So had an extra day, figured we'd do that, and then we're actually going back to Ohio in September, so she's gonna do one. So be on the lookout for that. But yeah, basically just wanted to show Cass some of the more special spots to me and then bring you guys along as well. We share a lot of our lives with you guys, so I thought it'd be a fun idea to kind of just show you guys where I grew up, some spots that mean a lot to me. And yeah, that's kind of the intro, and we'll throw it to the video. This is the house that I grew up in. We moved here in like 2007. Just one of my favorite places in the world. Just has such good memories. There's our tent trailer. Had a lot of good camping trips in there. In there we got our jet ski. So those are two of our fun toys that I have good memories on. And this hoop has been here since pretty much day one of moving in. So this hoop is 15 years old, and man, it has some good memories on it. All right, so the first thing that's important to know in this hometown day is this street pretty much made me who I am. We had some great neighbors. The Rosses, PJ Ross used to live right there. Actually, one of my groomsmen who now lives in Texas, one of my really good friends. We grew up together on the street, and then this street was loaded with a bunch of really cool, fun families. We had so many fun games and activities, especially during the summertime on this street. We had some crazy wiffle ball games right here on the Ross's driveway. We would write up like chalk foul lines, and if we hit the roof, it was a home run. We would play backyard football. We used to have a goalpost. We played backyard football over there. We'd play basketball in our driveway. We'd play street hockey. We'd honestly play anything that we could figure out playing. Summers weren't really spent like how kids do today on video games. We really just did spend all summers outside. It was a great place to grow up. Now the street's a lot quieter, it's a lot different, but the nostalgia is still there. So another really good thing about the street that we grew up on is it was actually the last street in the neighborhood at that time. So it was a really quiet street, but now I'm gonna show you what this looks like now. So we're turning left on our street, and there's actually, I think 2 to 3 more streets down this way, which used to all just be actually like cow pasture. So as you see, like these are all streets that have been developed. So I would say probably the first like 7 to 8 years of living here, because we moved in right before the housing crash, so no one was buying houses pretty much after we bought. None of this was developed, and this was all like cow pasture land, which is funny because when I first started getting into golf, instead of like going to the driving range and paying money, I would just hit golf balls from my backyard, and it'd make my dad so mad because I would just create huge divots in the yard, but I would just be hitting it into the cow pasture. So like it makes me, there wasn't cows out there at the time, I wasn't like hitting cows, but it makes me laugh to think of like when people started developing this land back here, like how many golf balls they found, and like just like why is there so many golf balls back here. But good memories. Redmond has grown a ton. It's pretty much grown double in the time we lived here. See, they're still developing out here. It's crazy. So now I'm gonna show you where I went to school for a few years. So this middle school right here is where I went to school for 6th and 7th grade. In 8th grade, I went out to a different middle school where my dad worked at, so I could play sports under him. But yeah, this is the middle school I went to. This is only like a half mile from our house, so it was really close school. And then this is the elementary I went to for 5th grade, and actually the elementary school where Tony and Berkeley met. So my brother and my now sister-in-law, they actually met in the 5th grade at this elementary school, and now they're married. So pretty cool story. Out there, you can't really, I don't know, I'm not sure what they're doing out there now, doing some construction, but that is where, like, when I was in youth football, we always would practice, so I have good memories out in that field. Okay, so now next place I'm gonna take you to actually wasn't really like a part of me growing up because it just got put in, but now it is. It's my favorite bagel place in my hometown. So we're gonna get some breakfast. I know you want a bagel.
Please, I'm starving.
She's starving, so we're gonna go to my new favorite bagel place called Big Old Bagels. But when we're going there, the Sonic that we're about to pass was literally a staple of my childhood. When I mean staple, I mean staple. Because in the summer, they would have half price shakes. So literally, probably, no joke, 2 to 3 times a week, we would all, like the neighborhood kids or my dad, would all ride our bikes down. It's about 1.5 miles to Sonic, and we would just sit out there and have a half price shake. And it was great summer memories. Or during happy hour all year round from 2 to 4, they had half price slushies. So when slushie used to be $1, I used to be able to walk in there with 2 quarters and I would just get a small slushie. And that was because Oregon doesn't have sales tax. But yeah, we're about to pass the Sonic up here, so I can actually see it. But a lot of people think Dutch Bros is like a California or Arizona thing, and I'm here to tell you it's not. Okay, it was started in Grants Pass, Oregon. Dutch Bros is an Oregon thing. It's not California, it's not Arizona. We're about to head into downtown area. If you blink, you'll miss it. It's not very big, but it's got some character. So you've been here like, what, this is your 3rd time being here? 3 times? So like you've seen some of these places, but you haven't really been like told about them, or you didn't know the importance of it.
A little bit.
Like, but that's why we're doing the hometown day, so you can fully get what it was like growing up here. Fully get the vibe. And we're going to Ohio next month, so yeah, we're gonna do a part 2.
Oregon is very different than Ohio, I must say. Different vibes.
So we are driving through downtown Redmond. On the way to the bagel place, we'll actually pass where I went to church growing up. So it's no longer actually where the church is at anymore, but it was the building where we had church. So it's a building where I said many prayers for my future wife, and I found her. So I'll just drive by that building real quick. But yeah, right here is where I grew up going to church, in this building. Yeah, now it's part of RPA Academy, but this used to be Desert Song Church right here. That's where I grew up going.
It does not look like church.
Well, I mean, back there's like a wall right there that was like the greeting area, and then back behind was a sanctuary. It used to be like an old hardware store, but they actually like remodeled it, or like the church remodeled it and made it into a church. We got our bagels. How you feeling? You feeling more energized?
Yeah, better.
Yeah, Cass hadn't had any food today.
I've been up for like 3.5 hours.
But we're back. We ate. Got some energy now, hopefully. Okay, so I brought you here because this is one of my favorite sports memories of all time. Happened at this baseball field. So actually, this is not where I usually played Little League. It's a different set of fields, but I didn't always play All-Stars because we usually had stuff going on in the summer, right? So we didn't have time to play All-Stars. But when I was 10, I believe, I played on All-Stars during the summer of the recession. So that's probably why we didn't go anywhere. But and Redmond actually hosted the All-Star tournament, and our first game was at this field right here, and we were down 9 runs in the last inning, right? 9 runs in the last inning, and we came all the way back and tied it up, and the bases were loaded, 2 outs, I'm up, right? I don't think I've ever told you this story. And I took a walk-off walk, and we won. So like I drew a walk, and we scored because the bases were loaded, and we won. And
they walked you on purpose?
No, not on purpose. Wait, why would they walk me on purpose?
I said a walk-off.
Well, like a walk-off means like you win on that moment.
Oh.
So like was up to bat, bases were loaded, 2 outs, tie game, and they walked me. So someone automatically scored. Yeah. So this is the field that happened. It's actually usually a softball field, but they actually like put dirt for a mound during All-Stars. But it's weird coming back to these fields like when you're an adult now. Like they just seem so much smaller than they used to be. You know, like when you're like a kid, you're like, there's no way I can hit a homer, like this fence is so big, and then it's like you come back and it's a little field. But so these dugouts are like literally ultra small and very old. But yeah, some good memories on this field. What's cool about this field and what's cool about Redmond, and there's actually like what's called a dry canyon that runs through kind of the middle of Redmond, probably like 5 or 6 miles, and these softball fields actually sit in the canyon. You can't really tell because it's not as deep right here, but like over there are some rocks. So like right by our house, I'll probably show it later, there's like a little drop down into the canyon, which Cass has seen, but there's like a bike path, you can walk, run down there. There's a dog park, and then a huge park down there. Basically like there's a bunch of parks just like in the canyon. Oh yeah, pickleball courts, which we played at yesterday. We're picking up the game now, so we actually know the rules now. We didn't really know the rules, but if you're in St. Pete and you're okay at pickleball, we don't want to play anyone that good yet because we don't like losing, do we?
No, we hate losing.
We don't like losing, but if you're like average at pickleball in St. Pete, let us know. If you're bad,
I'll still play. I like to win.
Yeah, she's very competitive. But next place is Eagle Crest Resort. All right, where we're going now is probably like one of the most special places to me in Redmond, like besides just like the house I grew up in, and it's called Eagle Crest Resort, and this is where I actually like learned to play golf. You guys know me, like love golf, like one of the big parts of my life. So it's actually where I learned to play golf. It's where I worked for like 4 or 5 summers growing up. So super special place to me. I mean, I spent so much time here. This is like where in high school golf we like practiced. So every day after school till like dark I was here. The summers, like when I didn't have school, if I worked in the morning, I literally got off, played till dark. Like I remember one summer the iPhone like literally thought I lived here. Like it said home like Eagle Crest Resort because I was just like here so much. So you saw the lights here. So down here, if you want to show, that's kind of like the more resort side of it. And there's a golf course down there, and during the winter there's like a huge like lights show. And then up here is the more residential side of the resort, so people actually own houses and condos. My grandparents actually used to own a condo up here. So this is where I showed up, if you want to show. First day of golf practice ever. I was just playing golf because I just was kind of bored of baseball, so I showed up to golf, thought it may be fun. Had like 35 clubs in my bag. I had no idea what I was doing.
That's a lot, right?
Yeah, you can have max 14. Like I didn't know the rules of golf. I didn't know anything. I showed up here like little 5-foot freshman, 30 clubs in a huge bag. Showed up and like instantly fell in love with the game. So like this like place means a lot to me because this is like where I fell in love with golf and everything. So it looks like they're having like a little junior clinic out there, which is like really cool to see because I love when kids are getting involved in the game. Like again, I worked out here too, so like so much time spent in high school and college here. Yeah, nostalgia is like crazy here. It's like this place, like no joke, it like really means a lot to me because it's like
I don't
golf.
think you're joking.
No, I know, but like golf has like definitely like made me like who I am, and so it's like a place where I grew up playing it and stuff. Like I've probably played the Ridge course up here like no joke, probably close to 1,000 times. So it's like crazy. It's sad because like obviously my parents will probably be moving here soon now that all the kids are out of the house, and so it's like I don't know when I'll ever be back here again. So yeah, so this is the 9th hole right here. It's a par 5, and then 18th hole over here to my left. That is where, so this course is actually where I had my first ever tournament in high school, freshman year, and actually my last ever because this course hosted districts my senior year. And I had like the worst round of my senior year, the second round of districts, and I ended up missing state. And I finished on that hole, 18. And knowing that like my high school career is over, I bawled, bro. I wanted to go to state so bad, and I was so heartbroken I didn't make it. And my dad was there. I could not stop crying after the round because I was like, high school golf's over. I missed my chance. It was sad because I had played a really good round the first round. And I was like in a spot where I could qualify for state individually, and then I missed it. But good and bad memories out here, but mostly good. One of the best parts about Central Oregon golf is the views. So I mean, this is the 3rd hole right here. And then you just got just the picturesque mountain, snow-capped mountain right there. It's really hard to beat Central Oregon golf. So I know I'm biased, but I mean, the views you get out here in Smith Rock, you can't really see it. It's just kind of right there. You can see it really good in other holes. There's like places like Texas, for chance, you just don't get that kind of scenery. You don't get that kind of natural beauty. It definitely makes me appreciate growing up here because I didn't realize how good I had it. I'm growing up in Oregon and how like pretty everything was. I just assumed that's kind of everything was, but it's not. We're about to pull up to Ridgeview, where I went to high school for all 4 years, and I'm going to show you the best part about coming to Ridgeview every morning. Normally you don't want to go to high school, right? Like you don't want to go to school, it's early in the morning, but this view coming up to Ridgeview every morning made it worth it. So we're about to pull up right now, and this is what you get to see right when you're pulling up to the school. Those mountain views every morning coming into school, and in the winter time they're just way more snowy. So that was my favorite part about coming to school every day. And it's actually weird, none of this was here when I went to school. All those homes, none of that was here. All of this stuff right here, none of that was here. And I graduated like 6 years ago. Whoa, that's a long time.
That's a long time, though.
That is a long time. But like literally all this was horse pasture. Like that's how crazy Redmond's grown, is like none of this was here. None of all those homes back there was here. It's weird to see it. Yeah, this is where I went to high school. My first year there was the first year Ridgeview opened. So it was cool to be the first class to go all 4 years in a school. But,
that is cool.
yeah, first year actually we didn't have a senior class because they didn't want a group of kids just to come for 1 year. So the first year we just had freshmen through juniors. So like varsity sports, like the highest like varsity they had was juniors. Like there was no seniors on the sports teams.
Where did the seniors go?
Well, there's 2 high schools in town. So like you could either go to Redmond High School or go to Ridgeview High School.
The school is like just a brand new school?
Yeah, like they built it and it opened up fall of 2012.
Oh wow, that's weird.
And that, so when they, because the town was growing and stuff, so when they like expanded into a second high school, like every person that was going to be a senior had to stay at Redmond High, and then everyone else had a choice. And most of my friends actually were going to be going to Redmond, but I wanted to go to Ridgeview because of the new school, and they had like a TV production program. And at the time, like I thought I was going to be on TV. I wanted to be like a sports broadcaster.
You are on TV.
I am on TV, so I'm sure we'll show. I'll throw up some clips of me doing the broadcast here. But
good afternoon, Ridgeview High School. It's Monday, April 1st, 2013. Thanks for watching the Ravens Report. I'm jspinelli.
So really nice school, a really good high school to go to. Obviously in a brand new building, brand new facilities. We had like TV production. Brand new ceramic stuff. Like I didn't do engineering, but they had like a huge engineering program here. The weight room and gym is just like crazy here. Obviously I didn't work out in high school because I was tiny, but I should have worked out because this place is sick. But
yeah, it looks nice.
A lot of good memories here. Honestly, like I feel like for high school sometimes it's like the best 4 years for people. I wouldn't say it's like the best 4 years for me, but like there wasn't anything like bad with it, you know?
Yeah.
It was just like, you know, you're going to
Just
school.
high school.
Yeah. I mean, it's kind of hard to be, I don't think we get inside because it's summer, but
No, I don't think so.
the inside, you actually seen it when, because
last year.
Yeah, my youngest sister graduated from here, and so she saw the inside and gym and stuff. But yeah, we'll go to the football field where I did play senior year. I stopped playing after middle school just because I wanted to focus. I wanted to do golf and I focused on that. But senior year, I wanted the opportunity to play like under lights and stuff because that was what I grew up dreaming of. So the football field's up here, and then the weight room. I don't know if you can see. I mean that weight room is crazy. That's all those windows right there is the weight room, and I mean it's just all state-of-the-art equipment. So you got the football field with the mountains in the back. Like when the lights are on and it's like sun setting with the mountains in the background, like you're gonna have trouble finding a prettier football field like in the country. Like with those mountains and the sunset and lights, it's sick. Honestly, like after seeing like other places in the country, like I'm pretty grateful to go to school there. Like that was a really nice building, a really like nice facilities all the way.
Yeah,
And like I think like when you grow up, you just kind of like assume everything is like where you grow up.
Yeah.
You know, like every school is like your school, every state's like your state. You don't realize like sometimes you had it like really like good. So yeah, I definitely like am a lot more appreciative of like where I grew up and like the high school that I went to and the schools I got to go to, because of what I've seen like in education and just other places. Like it's not always like that. So
Yeah, totally.
I definitely, it's not a place I would probably come back to live just because I have different goals and aspirations now, but like it's just not a place that both of us would probably want to like raise kids. But I mean, and especially just the way like the place is ran now, Oregon's just not ran great, but as far as like beauty and just like Central Oregon in general, the people here, it's like a really good place to grow up. Other places of Oregon is not so good, but like here, it's not the Oregon that a lot of other people like think of Oregon as, you know what I'm saying? The next place we're going to on the list is where my first job was ever.
Mickey D's.
Mickey D's. But first we're gonna pass one of the most interesting roads I've ever seen, name-wise. The name is Odom Meadow, okay? So what's Odom Meadow backwards?
I don't know, I can't.
Odom Meadow.
Oh.
So backwards and forwards, it says the same thing. We're about to pass it, so it's Odem Meadow. Odom Meadow.
It seems like they just are running out of street names.
It's right here. We're about to turn right on it. Out of all the other places I've been, I've never seen a street name where it's two names for a street and it's the same backwards and forwards, but it's kind of cool. There's a movie theater. It's literally the smallest theater you can see. You can't really see it anymore, but it has like maybe 3 movie rooms in it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't really go to the movies, so I never really went there growing up, but it's the movie theater. We're about to go to McDonald's. This is where my first job was. It's not like now where companies literally are trying to hire anyone, like they just need people to work. Like back then, like they only would hire you if you had work experience. So McDonald's was like the only place that didn't do that. So this is where I worked right when I turned 16 through like October, through November of that year. So this is where I worked for like 5 months growing up. First job at this McDonald's. I looked literally like a child. I was like 5'1", and yeah, this is the McDonald's I work at. A lot of bad memories. I don't think you can have a lot of good memories working at McDonald's. Yeah, some crazy things happened here. People always thought I was like, bring your child to work day. I got Sundays thrown at me. Yeah, I would not recommend working at McDonald's. But
I would never work
I
here.
worked with one of my friends' mom. She was like the manager. And so back when school started that year, sophomore year, I was like one of the only sophomores that could drive. And so her son couldn't drive yet. So if I went and got him his meal for lunch, she would always give me my meal for free.
Yeah, I think you told me that.
So literally like all of sophomore year, I ate McDonald's almost like every day.
That's horrible.
Yeah.
Like unhealthy.
Yeah. Like shakes and everything.
That's terrible.
Yeah, but
You know,
it was
I have
free.
to like beg him to go get dessert now. He won't eat anything like that.
I just like care more about my body now, but
I do too, but
the craziest
yourself.
thing about this place now is I'm looking at the sign right there. It says now hiring $18.75 an hour. When I first started working here, this was 2013, so 9 years ago, it was $8.95. I remember my first paycheck, it was $8.95. But what they start out paying here is what? Almost $10 higher in 9 years.
that's crazy.
That's actually like insane when you think about it.
My first job, I got paid $9 an hour.
So someone can literally come work here for $18.75, dude. That's actually like good money for McDonald's. Like a high school
$18
kid.
an hour is a lot.
Dude, that's why stuff costs so much here now. Like when we went to Dairy Queen the other day, like our order was like $4 more than it is in Texas.
It's an expensive place to live.
Yeah, $10 in 9 years, the starting pay at McDonald's has gone up. Like if I was making $18.75 an hour back then, I'd have had a lot of golf clubs.
The value of a dollar has changed.
Yeah, but not by double the amount. Like it's still more money than I would have
I'm
been
saying
making.
like everything is more expensive now.
Right, but not by double necessarily. Maybe gas now.
Our rent, for sure.
Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah, this is my first job, and then after that I always worked at the golf course until like I graduated college and got a teaching job. So actually I would recommend, because I learned a lot of life lessons. I did.
I would never work food.
I learned
industry.
how to be a nice customer, because you get a lot of not nice customers at McDonald's. I'm gonna show one more place, and then we're gonna go to my favorite summer hangout place to cool down. So let's do this. Can I get a large Diet Coke? What flavors for the iced coffee do you have?
What's in that?
Hazelnut? I don't like hazelnut. Okay. Large or medium?
Medium.
Can I get a medium hazelnut iced coffee, please?
Yeah, of course.
Taste test review of McDonald's hazelnut iced coffee. There's probably like no coffee in this. It's probably like all milk.
No.
If not all milk, there is coffee. Tell me, how would you make this at McDonald's? Do you remember?
Yeah, there's like a big like tube of iced coffee, but it's not hot. I mean, it's not cold. It's just like probably like room temperature, or like chilled maybe. Then you pour it in. You get ice in a cup to fill it up to the line. Then you hit the little switch and it pour out, and then you squirt like the flavor in it and you mix it around. But one time I spilled the entire iced coffee all over the floor, the whole tub of it, when I was transporting it after I brewed it. That was a mess.
It was honestly better than I was expecting. The hazelnut is pretty good. Do you want to try it? Why? No, you have to.
It's good.
Yeah, isn't it pretty good?
Over there is Jimmy John's. I worked there for 2 weeks in high school one time as a delivery driver, but my car was literally human trash, and it just couldn't make the deliveries, so I stopped working there. But then they wanted me just to work
Driver.
making sandwiches.
Vibes.
I'm like, oh, no. I ain't making sandwiches.
Right.
I was just here to be a delivery
I would
driver.
just work at McDonald's.
No, that was after.
No.
That was like when the golf courses weren't like that was like during the winter time. So like I couldn't work at the golf course. So now we are at the other high school in town. This is Redmond High. This is where Tony went to school and graduated from. This is where like all my youth football games would happen on the practice field back here. And like football used to be like my favorite sport like in the entire world. And I still love watching it. Like as far as playing, like I lived and breathed football. Like I thought like I'd be an NFL quarterback. Like I didn't care how tall I was, anything, but out on this field is where all my games were. So Saturdays out here in the fall, like good times. And then occasionally, I think like once a year, you got to play under the lights at the high school field. And that was like when you're like in the 5th grade playing under the lights in high school, you thought you were like some serious.
Cool.
Yeah, and then you go to school the next day and you talk trash to the team you play and you're like, you got absolutely smoked, dog. Like we ran you guys.
I can't see you playing football.
I was a good football player.
I just see you playing golf and that's it.
Yeah. I mean, I was like football, basketball, baseball, like I was decent until everyone else got really big and really strong. And then it took me a while. But like elementary school, like middle school, I was one of the better players. Then puberty hit. And then it hit me later.
Hit everyone else.
Hit everyone else.
But you.
But me. Then I'm like, you know what? Maybe golf. I should pick up golf.
Actually, I'll do golf.
No, I still love like football, basketball, baseball. So now we are at the place where I got baptized, the Cascade Swim Center, the pool, the local pool. It was December 6th, 2009, and we had like a youth group like baptism / swim party. So like people got baptized and then we all like swam afterwards. But
what?
Yeah, that's where I got baptized, December 6th, 2009. I remember that date.
Such a funny place.
Because I had basketball games in Bend that day, and my parents lost $200 at Costco. So that day was eventful. So now I'm showing Cass the Spinelli favorite hangout spot during the summer. This is Steelhead Falls. A lot of good memories here. About 25 minutes away from our house, and then it's about a half-mile hike. And then once we get there, nice little waterfall to jump off, and then 2 cliffs to jump off. So I don't think Cass will be doing any jumping today.
I'll just watch.
She'll just watch, but I have a lot of good stories here. That was Steelhead Falls. How was it?
It was fun. I didn't jump in or anything because I don't really love jumping in, stuff like that. I like jumped in, but not
Yeah,
the
jumped in.
cliff or anything.
Maybe he's back there sleeping. She did a little bit of swimming. She jumped in once by herself. Oh, she woke up. She heard her talking. She's like, who's talking crap? She's getting a little bit more comfortable with water. I think pretty much covered all the spots. I got one more spot that we're gonna hit up tonight, and that's like my favorite hike around. But other than that, that's the majority of Redmond.
There's a lot of outdoor activities for one day.
Yeah.
For me. I'm not used to all this.
These Ohio girls, they're not used to the great outdoors. They're used to town swimming pools.
Just watching sunsets. We don't go hiking or anything like that. There's nowhere to hike.
All right, with the last event of the day, we are going to Smith Rock, which is pretty much like the best and like most famous hike around. We actually live like 10 minutes by it. People come from all over to do it. We're gonna do it at sunset. We have a little bit of crowd with us this time. Dad and Kaylee is with us.
It's Kaylee.Spinelli.
Kaylee.Spinelli. Follow Kaylee.Spinelli on
Facebook.
This is Smith Rock right here, about to pull up, and then yeah, just wait to see these views. It is crazy. This is actually like right over there is where Tony and Berkeley just got married, so.
Tony asked me and Berkeley to have an arm wrestle.
This is the view about 2/3 of the way up. We just gotta get to the top of there. What do you think?
Probably my last time.
What?
My last time.
You ever?
Yeah, this is my second time.
And this is the view at the top. That's sunset. And that is the hometown date.
Pretty sure last year when we did this, I cried. Do you remember that?
Yeah.